from last week, we placed our picks and whatnot. Just wanted to say I went 5-1. So,
Yeah.
if you want to find a show to keep up with, I'm just saying 5-1. I would have won your money. But and the one I got wrong, which was Miami versus Kansas City.
Yeah. I told you not to pick.
No, that was purely just hope for Miami,
Yeah.
But
No, I don't blame you, man.
after going 5-1, it's like, well, I should take these serious,
Yeah.
Like my dad watched it and was like, yeah, thanks for the picks.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. He be messing around with the.
Hey, nah, but I feel that though, man. Only thing I regret from last week's show is like a lot of the ones you picked, I wanted to pick, but I was like, I'm gonna disagree just to disagree. Like that, the Packers Cowboys. Like if you go back and look at that one, I was like definitely rooting for the Packers. I was saying a bunch of Packers stuff, and then it was like, but the Cowboys, and then what was the other one? Houston versus the Broncos. Houston versus the Browns. I was like, I want CJ to win it because I'm rooting for the guy, but I was like,
you have faith in the Browns.
You know what I wanted to see? I wanted to see the Browns versus the Ravens. But after Joe Flacco's performance against Texans, I'm glad we don't get to see that.
Yeah.
But the sad part is like it wasn't like people didn't know he was gonna throw picks. Like Buddy went 12 for 9 on the season. You know what I'm saying?
Was it that good? 12 for 9 on the season.
Like 12 touchdowns, 9 interceptions.
He took 2 more.
But that's like one in every game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like 1 for every touchdown.
But you know what I respect about it though? Buddy's coming off the couch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he literally like you know what I'm saying? Like he literally came off the couch. Like that's actually really dope to me. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, it was almost a phenomenal sports story.
But at least he didn't like it's one thing to throw picks because you're scared. Mm-hmm. It's another thing for you to just be like a gun. Like he just came out there this season and was like, I'm gonna throw where I want to throw it. Whatever happens, happens. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole way
that
through.
was their best bet in winning. Living and dying by that arm.
Man. But 39 too.
Oh, is that how he is?
Yeah, I think he was 39.
Man.
Like,
and those guys are old.
Man.
I think LeBron's 39. Still dominating the NBA. But no, man, we got a nice slate of games after that past weekend.
Yeah.
Got the Texans, Ravens, Bucks, Lions, Pack versus the 49ers, and Chiefs, Bills.
Chiefs. I'm not gonna lie to you. I can't wait to get into a lot of those games. We started with the NFC last time. You want to go ahead and go with the AFC?
You just go with the first one. Texans, Ravens.
Texans, Ravens. Okay. Texans, Ravens. Well, I got the Ravens in it. Yeah, I got the Ravens in that game.
You know who I got? My Super Bowl pick, the Ravens.
Texans, Ravens. I think that the Ravens, here's what I will say. Here's what I will say. This has to be Lamar's playoff win. You know what I'm saying? Like he
won a playoff game before, but
but this one is like,
I think they'll be rusty, and I think the game will be closer than expected. Point wise, I would, what's the spread? 9.5
for the Ravens.
Yeah.
They're favored.
First of all, if I was betting, I would take the points on the Texans in just because 9.5 is not happening. That game's going to be like 28-24, 27 to.
You think so?
Oh yeah. I think it's going to be a 1-score game.
You think so?
Yeah, I truly believe. The Ravens are going to be rusty. They just took 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
Same thing with the 49ers, which I don't think that works in the 49ers' favor, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
What do you think the score would be for that game?
Man, I think it'll be, wow. The fact you said how many? You said 28-24?
I like 27-21. Like it'll be a 1-score game.
Got you. You think the Ravens pull away in the fourth quarter, or they get like a 2-score lead?
I think it's tied at half, like 14-10, and then it's just like a maintain the lead kind of
game.
Yeah, after that, and CJ gets another touchdown, but not enough.
Yeah,
that kind of thing. But
our picks are definitely different. I'd say for the Ravens, man, I got it 42-24.
Yeah,
42-24.
Yeah.
I think that
it's quite possible.
I think that the Ravens go out there and offensively, I don't think there's anything the Texans defense can do to stop Lamar.
So to be clear, the over-under is 43.5, as in like the total point score between both teams.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, I'm just saying, if you was betting, man, you'd be blowing that out the water on the over.
Yeah. Well, I'm not a betting man, so I could care less. But I do feel you for some people who are. But yeah, I would say the game should be. I would say 42-24. I think that
Texans fight too hard for that.
I think they do.
They fight too hard to lose like that.
I think they do, but I think that what will happen in that game.
He doesn't throw picks either.
You talk about Stroud?
Yeah.
I don't expect him to. I truly expect the Ravens to go in there.
The Ravens ain't scoring that much with no picks.
I think that, honestly, I think that they do. I think they do the opposite method of, it's not that I don't think they'll be rusty. You know what I'm saying? But I think that they'll get off to a hot start. In Baltimore, I think they'll get off to a hot start. I think that at half, it'll probably be 21-7.
I believe it.
And I do want to say that it's not that I don't think CJ Stroud is good enough to put up 24. You know what I'm saying? But what I've seen out of the Ravens this year and all the speculation that's around Lamar in terms of, is it too much pressure? Is he just a regular season quarterback? I think he'll go out there with that as motivation, and his whole mission will be to obliterate that game. You know, and personally, I think if they get up to a 14-point lead, it's not that I don't think CJ Stroud will. I don't believe that the Texans will, I don't want to say not continue to try. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't think that. I think it'll be too much for them. You know what I'm saying? I think the moment will have hit them that, you know what I'm saying, this is playoff football. This team has their position for a reason. You know, I think the Ravens defense, I think John or Jim?
Jim.
I think Jim Harbaugh, you know, he's a defensive coach.
Oh, John.
Is it John?
John.
You know, they played each other in the Super Bowl, too. Yeah, it's hilarious. And then his brother went ahead and just went to the college after that Super Bowl. It worked out for him, though. It worked out for him. But, yeah, you know, I think I think the moment will have arrived for Houston in this game. I think the Ravens will get out to a hot start like they've been doing all season. Mm-hmm. I think they'll get out to a hot start, and I think that the Texans will try and fight back, kind of like you saw in that Packers game where like the end of the score doesn't really tell you what the game was like. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it'll be like a 21-7. Then after that, at half, you'll see the Texans start to come out there, put up points, but the Ravens will just continue to obliterate.
Points. Okay.
Yeah. And also, too, man, like Lamar is just an amazing quarterback. You know what I'm saying? You know, I always say I'm rooting for black quarterbacks, but since there's two and one's a rookie having like his all-star season, I don't want to see CJ Stroud go out. You know what I'm saying?
He's done enough. You know, but he won one.
21 to 20
27. Yeah, it'll be close.
Man, how so? How do you think, like, what do you think
I just think it'll be close. I think Texans will play hard. I think they're coming to play. You know.
I saw D'Amico Ryans.
I've seen enough not to doubt them.
Yeah,
I'm not giving them the win, but I think they keep it close.
Who has the ball last for it to be 21-27? Because honestly, if the game comes down to that, whoever's got the ball last, that's who I got.
Nah, I don't think it matters. Ravens defense, like I said, it's purely because of rust.
Yeah,
you know, I think they'll be more dominating in the second half than they will the first half.
Yeah.
Like I said, just rust. It's 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
You know, like, Lamar probably be fine, but it's another 21 guys that start.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But Bucks-Lions.
Well, I think before we even start this take, man. All right, so Bucks-Lions. So before we even start this take, I want to say I want to put respect on Baker's name. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
It's much deserved. You know what I'm saying?
He made it to us.
He made it to us. He also got past the Eagles, regardless how the Eagles play. He also got to the Eagles. And also, too, just having a little bit more background in the situation, knowing that they didn't actually pick him. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Bucks did not actually, like, reach out to him. He reached out to them. You know? And I have a lot of respect for that. And also what I've seen in Baker's career, this maturity jump for him is truly impressive. You know, I think a lot of times, especially in our younger ages, you know what I'm saying, money, fame, power, you know what I'm saying, I think it can boil over and you know, create a bunch of different emotions. The Browns organization wasn't that steady.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So Just much respect to him for being mature and really for really growing up. You know what I'm saying? So much props to him. Now in the game, I think that we'll win. Obviously, as you can see by the Lions shirt, I think that we'll win. I don't think it'll be, I don't think it'll be. I don't think it'll be as bad as people think. You know what I'm saying? In terms of it being like how we played them in the regular season, where it was like 20-6.
Yeah, that's not that bad though.
I think it'll be more of I think it'll be like a 28-17 game. I think we'll do what we always do: go out there, score, put up points. I think that our defense will, because they pass so much. I think Aiden Hutchinson is gonna have a crazy day. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I think he's gonna have a crazy day. And also, when Baker feels that pressure, because he never wants to give up on a play and throw the ball away, I think we'll come away with a couple picks.
A couple?
I think it'll be a couple picks. I mean, it could be a couple picks and a fumble, or, you know what I'm saying? I think there'll be some turnovers in that game.
Yeah.
And I think that our offense will be steady throughout that game. I think our run offense will be better than what the Eagles portrayed. You know what I'm saying? I think one of our carriers will probably have a 100-yard day, but I think it'll be a slow rushing game. You know what I'm saying? Meaning like we'll probably average like 4 to 5 yards a carry. You know what I'm saying? We'll probably average 4 to 5 yards a carry. Have a couple breakout runs, nothing crazy. Probably be a lot of third and shorts that we convert. And I think we'll probably have about 21 by half, and then hold that lead until the end of the game. Probably score another one. I think the game probably be like 21-10 at half, something like that. And I think right around the fourth quarter, they'll probably score a bit 17-21, and we'll go up 28-17, close that game out. I will say this much: seeing what the Tampa Bay does on defense, that's the only thing that really concerns me about this game. You know, the pressure they can put on quarterbacks, their blitzes. Goff isn't the same quarterback under pressure. You know what I'm saying?
Sure is.
And if it comes down to a game where it's like he's pressured on 16 dropbacks, you know what I'm saying? I think it'll be. That's also why the score is at, I got it at 28-17. I think that he'll make some great plays, probably take some hits on some throws, but ultimately our run game will kind of be the face of that game, and Goff will do just enough to get us to victory.
Yeah. Obviously, I got the Lions in that matchup. I definitely agree with everything you said. I also had the Lions in that matchup. I believe it's going to be a running game. That's how we win, running the ball.
Yeah.
We'll have to run the ball to keep the pressure off of Goff. They are a blitzing team. They do blitz very heavy. Ty Bowles, he really dials it up on the blitzes, but like I said, you just got to ease that pressure off by running the ball and then get Goff into the play action, and really get him cooking from more play action than drop back, obviously. And outside of that, I mean, I think the defense will come away with like maybe one pick. It's playoff football. So, yeah, maybe one pick, probably one at least because,
Baker's going to throw it.
Yeah, he's a go big or go home kind of guy. So I just don't want Mike Evans to do too much to us. But you know my theory on our defense. We let one feast while the rest famine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, Mike Evans might get off, but if that only equates to 14 points to our 23, which is what I believe the score is going to be, 23-14.
That's a good score.
I think similar to what you were saying. I think we'll have like 17 points, 14 points at half.
Yeah.
And then maybe like one score and a kick or something.
Yeah.
From that point on, I think we'll go for a couple more fourth downs this time around. Because you see we're a little more conservative in the Rams game, which you understand why. But
but that was great. That was a good props to. Go ahead.
Yeah, about 23-14 is what I would say.
Yeah. And, that's good props to Dan Campbell for that game. And that really showed coaching. Like, to be honest with you, I actually think it caught Sean McVay off guard, to be honest with you, which doesn't really happen much. And he did this earlier in the season, so you can't kind of say it too much, but he was running out of timeouts at the end of games in the regular season. So I don't want to say that, but I truly believe like
that was the crowd.
Yeah.
That was that crowd.
Hometown
advantage, which we'll have again.
Yeah.
which we'll have again. So,
man, it was kind of funny since we're speaking on that game. You know, like a reporter had asked their coach, I think it's Todd Bowles, but the Bucks coach.
Yeah.
That's Todd Bowles. She was like, so how do you guys think you guys will fare against the Detroit weather? You know, like it's bad up there, you know, and like he wasn't like mean about it, but he was like you know, they play in the dome, right? Like, you know, like they didn't show her face. They just kind of moved on, you know. But it's like, but that just goes to show you like how like you notice this year, and I think that's why a lot of people are picking against us in these games. They don't have anything to like reference or go back to. You know what I'm saying? Like you look at Kansas City when they started their rise.
I mean, you got the last 2 years of football, but
yeah, but even then though, it's like look at Kansas City in their rise. They had Alex Smith and they were winning games. They had Andy Reid, so it's like, you know, when those games were like Chiefs versus Brady, it's like, well, you know what Mahomes did in the regular season. We know what Andy's done over his career. We know what the Chiefs organization have done. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like what our team is kind of like, well, what do you point to? You know what I'm saying? Like our last season was, you know, coming of age, but really it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? With the way it ended, the year before that was even worse. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like this year,
you know, you could point to the experience of the quarterback.
And I feel like people, but did you see the way and why that game was so emotional for Goff? Because I didn't even know this when they got rid of Goff. They blamed him for everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they blamed him for, and you're talking about after when, like, you know, that's why you said, I think you told it to me or I heard it from someone else, but that he has a like close relationship with Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I thought that was really powerful just in the sense of like, you know, hey man, like your skill set. And I feel like Goff is better than Cousins in the regard of, hey, you've won playoff games. You've been to the Super Bowl. Like you're not like, we haven't seen you. Like even when Goff is having a bad day, I don't ever look at him like, oh man, you're nervous out there. I look at it like, he still looks pretty, you know what I'm saying, cool, calm, and collected. You know what I'm saying? Like in that Packers game. You know what I'm saying? On Thanksgiving, it was like, you're down by like 2 scores. You've had a couple picks, I'm pretty sure, but like you're not coming out here like edgy, you know what I'm saying, or itchy. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're just ready to make your check downs, get it to the right guy if you can. So, but yeah.
Man, yeah. No, I feel it. But yeah, I think Goff will come to play, and like I said, you know, you could look on the experience of the quarterback.
Yeah.
That's what I feel. But moving along, Packers, 49ers.
Packers, 49ers. That's a good one. That's a good one, man. You know what that game really comes down to me? The first thing I think about when I think about that game, it's not Matt LaFleur, it's not Kyle Shanahan, it's not Jordan Love, it's Brock Purdy. It's like, hey man, like, are you that quarterback or are you not? Because if you are, I got you demolishing the Packers. You know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily say demolishing the Packers, but you know what I mean. Like you should go out there, win. It might be bloody at points, but like you got enough guys to, like, you know what I'm saying, keep your head above water.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna lie to you, man. After seeing Dak, you know, that Cowboys game, it's like everybody ain't built for the big moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, and don't get it twisted. Like Brock Purdy has playoff experience. He beat Dak last year. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he beat Dak last year. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but man, it's something about those Packers, bro. It's like if that game is close in the fourth quarter, who do you got? Love or Purdy?
The Packers.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you got the Packers, you know? So it's like, and I feel like that's the 49ers game plan, is to come out there, get up early, you know what I'm saying, and hold that lead. Don't put Brock Purdy in pressure situations. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't give him a reason to not trust. Don't give him a reason for you to not trust him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think that's the 49ers flaw. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's the 49ers flaw, bro. Because if you're telling me that game is 28-28, you know, under 6 minutes left, you know, I don't care who's got the ball, Packers or if Packers got the ball at 6 minutes left, I got Jordan Love making that touchdown. 35-28, under 4 minutes to go. Everything's on the line, your whole season. You know what I'm saying? You got Purdy in the shotgun, you know, clutching that game out. I got him throwing a pick. You know what I'm saying? Like, he might get you to the 40 and then throw a pick. You know what I'm saying? But like, I got him throwing a pick. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, you know, but when it comes down to it, ultimately, and man, I got it. You say your pick first, because I'm like,
well, I got the Packers.
You got the Packers. What score?
24-20. Brock Purdy doesn't do it in the end. Personally, I believe that the 49ers are front runners. That's why I'm very aligned with them playing against them. I mean, I think the 49ers are the better matchup for the Lions. Because, I think Matt LaFleur is really coaching right now.
He's in his bag.
And, which, from the same tree is also with Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay. They're all from that Mike Shanahan coaching tree. But, yeah, like I said, they're front runners. I think Green Bay comes out, punches them in the mouth. And, of course, they're going to fight back, but it's not about any of them. It's about Brock Purdy, and I don't think Brock Purdy is he ain't got no fight back in him.
Yeah.
I mean, from every game I saw this year, I really don't see the difference between Purdy and Dak. You whoop on
subpar teams.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I guess you could say Dallas was a tough one, or you could say what we consider tough games for y'all. I mean, you look back at them now. You know what I'm saying? Was Dallas really a tough game for y'all?
Yeah. What time in the season was it?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Was Philly a tough game? That was part of the slide.
Yeah.
So it makes you,
And they lost to the Ravens.
Then they got mopped. By the Ravens.
Yeah.
Obliterated.
Yeah. And mind you, that was like close Christmas.
Games. Yeah, they had a close game versus the Rams before the Rams. It was like 23-20.
Yeah.
And that was before the Rams got on their hot streak. So I'm just saying they're front runners. If you look at any of their games, this is what Brock Purdy is what they do. No difference from Dallas. They're front runners. Don't get me wrong, San Francisco has tougher guys for sure.
Yeah.
But I just my mind says 49ers and the itches away at the end.
Yeah.
But in retrospect, I feel like when I think logically about it, I don't see the 49ers winning a close game.
That's what it comes down to for me.
So when the game gets close, goes into the fourth, I think Jordan Love makes one more play than Brock.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm gonna take the pack in that one.
Man, it's still tough giving my take even after you just said yours. You know what I'm saying? It's still tough. That game, I got it 24-17. For me, like I said, it's literally the end of the game. I know it's going to come down to one quarterback making one more play than the other, or one team making one more play than the other.
Yeah. Good thing that game's tomorrow.
Yeah, seriously. But you know what, though? All right. Here's what I'm going to say. I got the 49ers in that game. I got the 49ers in that game. And the only difference between this time picking against the Packers and because last week I wanted to pick the Packers.
It's a tough pick.
It's a tough pick.
I mean, if I had to put a percent on it, I'm 51%.
Yeah,
it's 49%.
It's close, man.
I'm literally judging this on
how you feel
the last 5 minutes.
Yeah,
I believe it. I mean, don't get me wrong. The 49ers get out there and get like a 10-0 lead. I don't think there's no turning back,
Yeah. I don't think it'll be
vice versa. If Green Bay walks out there and grabs a 10-0 lead, I don't think there's no turning back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing they did to Dallas. I mean, it's not like Dallas is a bad team or anything. I mean, obviously you see they turned it up as time went on, but it's that punch in the mouth, bro. It puts the emotions in you. And mind you, why did I say the Ravens were going to be in a close game? Same reason the 49ers are about to be in a close game.
Yeah.
You took 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't really want the Lions to be the number 1 seed. Yeah. I didn't want the the weeks
honestly,
off.
I'm glad we didn't get the number 2 seed.
Yeah.
Seeing the way the Packers obliterated Dallas,
I think we would have been okay. That was their game plan for Dallas. That doesn't work on us.
Yeah.
It doesn't work on us. We're more of a grit team.
Especially if we see
even
it
if you
coming.
put it on us, like, okay, oh man, they start off with we probably would have got 3 points though. You know what I'm saying? Then y'all score again. Then we score. Now it's 14-10. It's not 14-0.
Yeah.
Then you get a pick.
Yeah.
6. All that. That whole downhill.
Like touchdown pick. It was touchdown pick. touchdown, punt, touchdown, pick six. Like,
Man,
but it's the same reason
not-
why that Rams game, when the Rams was going against us, why it was like, even when we had the 14-3 lead, it was like, nah, it's probably gonna be 14-10. You know what I'm saying? Like, it felt that way.
Well, the defense wasn't.
The defense,
They were
wasn't
bending
clicking.
and not breaking. You know.
Yeah.
They held them out of the red zone.
But all right, so I'll give my take.
And that was the difference. A 1-point game, but we were 3 for 3 in the red zone. They were 0 for 3 in the red zone.
Yeah.
That just shows you that our defense, it's not like it's all the way there yet. But James Houston was taken off IR.
Really?
Yeah, so we got McNeil and Houston in the lineup.
Yeah, our team is
plus CJ GJ.
At just the right time, Brian Branch.
Yeah, Brian.
Everybody's balling.
Look, hey, it's a squad. It's a squad, and I think our defense will have one of those games that they just dominate.
Well, I mean, I think you saw it against the.
It either happened this week or next week. They just have them randomly.
Well, and the crazy part is, bro, I don't even think it's that random. One thing I was gonna point to when you were talking about our team's grit is, like, we're a different team when we're ready for you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When everything is, like, ready. Like, I don't believe that Thanksgiving game was a telltale about the Packers versus our team. I think it was Thanksgiving.
We're 1-1.
Coming off a short week.
I mean, we the same way they did us then, we did them in the first one. So you can't be like, oh, well, they beat the. Oh, okay.
That's just most recent.
Like, we also beat the crap out of you, like literally, like so.
Yeah. But
let's not do that.
Yeah. No, seriously.
It's a reason, let's not, Packer fans, let's not get too chopping at the bit, you know what I'm saying? Because you beat Dallas, when you're looking at the way you did it. I mean, hey, I've also seen y'all lose to the Saints.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw what happened when we played the Saints. I mean, so we can go nitpick all that little stuff. There's no need to,
Yeah, no, I feel you.
I do want to get your.
I gotta go to the 49ers one. Was that what you're about to say?
What?
Get to the 49ers pick. I gotta get my 49ers take. You know what I'm saying? We kept skipping. But yeah. So I got the 49ers. I would say 24 to 17. Mm-hmm. I do believe that Purdy will go out there and show everybody that he does belong as a starting QB in the league. I don't think it'll be a clean game. I think it'll be real messy, like you said, because of Russ. But the 49ers defense, I do believe they just have, honestly, man, after the Dallas game, I don't know whose defense is what anymore. But I do like the 49ers squad. I don't think that the Packers have any answer for McCaffrey or Debo. And I think as long as Purdy's in his zone, in his pocket, I think that he'll be able to get the ball to playmakers. They will make plays. I see Jordan Love being in a situation. Again, I think that game will be close in the fourth. 17-17 going into the fourth. It'll be 2 stops, both sides of the ball. I think Purdy will get the ball back. About 6 minutes left to go. It's a tie game. He'll go ahead and march him down the field for a score. For a touchdown. I do believe that Jordan Love getting the ball back, then you will get a chance to see, is Jordan Love the same Jordan Love under those circumstances?
Okay.
And I'm not necessarily a Packers fan, so I could care less. But I don't know if he is yet, and he hasn't proven that in the playoffs. And honestly, man, when you go out and do Dallas the way you did them, I do believe there's some bit of, like, ego almost to that team. It has to be. I'm not going to say it has to be, but I feel like it's going to be some sort of ego to that team. Like, hey, we're those guys. I think 49ers get the ball to start, and they march down the field, make it 7-0. And I think you'll kind of see Green Bay's levity go away a little bit, and they'll start to look human. Because after the way they did Dallas, man, they obliterated them.
Yeah.
And you don't learn much from a game like that. What do the Packers take away from a game like that? Okay, we can score and we can get a win in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? But again, in those same circumstances with a tie game and all the different parameters, are you still that same team? You know what I'm saying? I do have confidence in Matt LaFleur, but I have confidence in Kyle Shanahan. He's been to the Super Bowl a couple of times. This moment isn't no bigger than any other moment that he's faced in his career. And I think I think that as far as the coaching battle goes between Kyle Shanahan and Matt LaFleur, I think Kyle Shanahan will win tomorrow's game.
Okay.
27, 24, 17.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Who are you taking in the Chiefs Bills?
Man, Chiefs Bills. So this game is really interesting. You know what I'm saying? This game is really interesting because a lot of people are saying, okay, it's a rivalry between Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. That's not true. Patrick Mahomes beat him every time in the playoffs. There really isn't much of a rivalry there except for the fact that that's the team Patrick Mahomes keeps facing. Let's be realistic. You know what I'm saying? Now, Buffalo fans may feel some type of way, but, I mean, again, you know, there's a reason they called it Burrowhead. There's a reason why, you know what I'm saying? It's because Joe Burrow got victories in there. The Bills have not beaten the Mahomes in the playoffs yet. And I do think
they're in Buffalo.
Yeah, they're in Buffalo, so this is going to be the first game away for Patrick Mahomes. But again, man, when you got a quarterback like that, it's similar to the Tom Brady thing for me. As much as I might want Buffalo to win that game, because I think that would be a better matchup in the conference in the championship between them and Baltimore, I think that would be a much better game to watch, a lot more entertaining. It's kind of like that Brady thing, man. What am I do? Bet against the guy that's the defending Super Bowl champions. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't necessarily do that. But ultimately, though, I think it'll be a close game. I got the Chiefs. I got the Chiefs. I think it'll be a close game. And honestly, I got that game 35-28. You know, I got that game 35-28.
You think the Chiefs scoring 35 points?
Absolutely.
I don't think they've done that once this year.
I'm not sure if they have, but I know that Buffalo is not going to come out there and not drop anything less than 28. Like Buffalo's on a mission right now. I don't see Josh Allen coming in there like and that's why I have this game the way I have it. You notice I said I can't bet against Mahomes. I do have confidence in Josh Allen. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that he's going to come out there and throw he cannot throw 2 turnovers and still win that game. You know what I'm saying? So I think what it really will come down to is Patrick Mahomes versus Joe Burrow. Patrick Mahomes versus Josh Allen. And I think Mahomes will come away with it. I think it'll be, I don't want to necessarily call it a shootout, although those scores kind of seem like it's going to be a shootout. I don't think it will be. I think it'll be more of a 14-14 game going into the half. Probably another 14 points. It's literally 1 touchdown per quarter. You know what I'm saying? With Mahomes getting 2 at the end. The cold weather does not affect the Chiefs in any way. It being away. And also, too, I will say this much, man. There's no pressure on Mahomes in this one. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's talking about Josh Allen going into this one. You've lost to Mahomes this many times. You finally get to play him at home. You know what I'm saying? It's finally on your stage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't think there's no pressure on Mahomes. Win or loss, I don't think it changes anything for Patrick Mahomes. You know what I'm saying? Which is why I think he's going to come out there and ball. You know what I mean? But I think, again, like I said, I see the Bills it being a close game, but I got it, probably tie score 28-28 going into the fourth. And I think, the Chiefs will put up 1 more touchdown. And got a feeling Josh Allen might throw a pick. You know what I'm saying? Got a feeling he might go throw a pick.
Yeah, he probably will. I'm going to have to go the complete opposite, though.
I feel you.
I'm taking the Bills.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm not to disagree, but just because, I felt how I felt about Mahomes this year, all year.
Yeah.
That is not your year. I mean, like I said, Brady, Manny, I mean, you can go down the list.
Absolutely.
They can't win them all.
Yeah.
This is where the buck stops for the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, I feel like the Chiefs are just the AFC Eagles. No, they didn't have the downslide, but I'm pretty sure the Eagles were 11-6. What are the Chiefs? 11-6.
Yeah.
So that's my point. Like, it wasn't a downslide for the Chiefs, but
they just don't have what they had last year.
Their best win was last week, and that was their best win in the whole year.
Yeah,
and it was against
Dolphins.
I want to say the break dancers, as Chris Broussard would call them.
Yeah.
The break dancers, because it's Miami. I'm not impressed by that.
Yeah.
I'm not impressed by that. I would be impressed if Miami won. I'm not impressed by the Chiefs winning that game, and definitely not impressed in the fashion they won it. That Miami defense outside of Jalen Ramsey, it has holes.
Yeah.
I think this game is only going to be 27-17. Bills. They're in Buffalo. Which, I got some family in Buffalo. Shout out Uncle Ham. This is going to be very big for them. I just don't see just the way Josh Allen has been winning these games, poised, doing what's needed, and not trying to be the hero.
Yeah.
Whether it's a couple extra passes, whether he got to break it off for a run. I think he ran one in last week for like 75 yards or 50-something yards.
Yeah.
Josh Allen's just going to do what's needed. You know what he does when he plays Mahomes. They played earlier this year. It was won on like a technicality, but that was like with all the pressure. I think it was more pressure in that game than this game, and that was because that was like they couldn't lose a game to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I think at this point they're playing with house money. Like, it really wasn't in the playoffs. Did the same thing Green Bay did, where it's just you just reeled them off,
Yeah.
And they ended up winning their division.
Yeah.
So now they're in Buffalo. Like I don't know. I don't feel it.
Yeah.
That Mahomes is going to do this. Now I will say this: if Mahomes win this game, this will be the last time I bet against him. I plain period. You know how I am with betting against greatness. I just think it's a foolish thing to do because 9 times out of 10, greatness wins.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that all lines up. But if Mahomes makes a Super Bowl with what he has right now, like I said, I just don't see how you could ever doubt him again.
Yeah.
To be honest,
it's hilarious. I saw it was like a YouTube short, and some guy, he was like my friend's like Super Bowl prediction. So it just was like all of what's left, the teams that's left, simulated in like a Super Bowl, and it had Chiefs Lions winning 24-21 Super Bowl. The Lions winning, and honestly, to be completely honest with you, if the
I'll take that.
Here's the thing. Look, obviously there's a couple weeks left. It's highly possible. You know what I'm saying?
Is the Chiefs.
It's highly possible the Chiefs come out of AFC, and honestly, depending on what happens in this NFC, we probably should come out of it too. You know what I'm saying? If we do, we already beat them before at the beginning of the season, 21-20.
You said depending on what happens.
Yeah.
I mean, are you saying you think the 49ers could beat us?
No. I'm just saying.
Think Green Bay could beat us?
I'm saying just depending on what happens. So depending on what I see from this 49ers-Packers game, what I see from the Lions-Bucks game, you know what I'm saying, will be a telltale. I'm not worried about playing the 49ers because their weakness to us is our weakness to them. You know what I'm saying? We haven't played you in a minute. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what we're going to come out with there. We don't know what you're going to come out there. But however, we have an idea that you're going to want to get the ball to playmakers. You know what I'm saying? And just like we did a lot of teams who had high-powered offenses this year, we held them under 28 points. And if you're telling me that fast forward a couple of weeks and the Lions are against the 49ers and it's the last 4 minutes and we got a 28-24 game, us in control, any Detroit fan is taking that. You know what I'm saying? Even if the 49ers got to get or have the ball with under 2 minutes left and it's a 28-24 game, I think any Detroit fan would take that situation. You know what I'm saying? Because what happens when Mahomes had the ball last? We victory formationed it. What happened when Matthew Stafford was supposed to have the ball last? We victory formationed it. We're like 4 minutes to go, technically. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we ran off a couple plays, but you know what I'm saying. And we victory formationed a lot of teams when a lot of games were bloody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of those games looked like it was up in the balance, and then it's 4 minutes left to go, and we're counting our first downs to victory. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what I mean when I say depending on what I see. And that's kind of how I feel about the Packers a little bit too. Like I saw you guys beat Dallas, but come on now, Dallas with pressure on them is not the same team. You know what I'm saying? Like when we had Dallas in pressure, and they were messing up. It was touchbacks. You know what I'm saying? We had CeeDee Lamb getting touchbacks. Dak was supposed to have a safety. You know what I'm saying? So again, when it comes to us against any of those good teams, you've seen our defense step up against high-powered offenses. The Ravens was an anomaly game for us this season. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ravens was an anomaly game for us this season. Other than that, we go against a high-powered offense, man. Like we're keeping them under 28 points. Even if you look at that Dallas game and say, well, the Packers obliterated Dallas. Yeah, but Dallas also, until we had played them in that game, had never scored anything less than, was it 28 or 35 at home or something astronomical like that.
Yeah, they were averaging like 40 at home or something.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We came in there and made that crowd quiet down. You know what I'm saying? Hell, if
Yeah.
it wasn't for the refs, we would have been walking out there with a victory. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
respectfully.
So I just, something I want to see. But yeah, man, getting back to the Chiefs, Bills, I think it'll be 35-28. I think that again, I'm not gonna bet against greatness. I'm not gonna bet against Patrick Mahomes in this moment. I haven't seen him not win in these moments yet. So I'm gonna stick with the Chiefs, and I think ultimately it won't be a high turnover game. I think it'll be score for score. Both defenses will step up when they need to keep the game tight. But ultimately, the Chiefs will pull out with a 7-point lead and close the game out.
I can see it. Yeah, I could definitely see it. It's gonna be a very fun weekend of football.
Yeah,
I'll definitely say that. One of the things I wanted to bring up, last few things in sports. Do you think Mike Tomlin should go back to the Steelers?
no.
He has 1 year left on his deal.
Yeah, I think Mike Tomlin.
They already announced, by the way, that they're going to be starting Kenny Pickett again, but he will bring in competition.
Yeah, I think they should do that. I think that's been the Steelers' problem for a minute, is their quarterback situation and their offensive coordinator situation. I mean, you even saw in that Buffalo game, and when it comes to the Steelers' defense, I mean, it was a 1 point, a one score differential between the two. You know what I'm saying? And Buffalo, I'm pretty sure it was the fourth quarter. It was like 24-17 or something like that. It's like you've seen the Steelers defense, even when the team itself does not belong there, the Steelers defense, or even if they lose a playoff game, is close. You know what I'm saying? But I think Mike Tomlin.
You said playoff game?
Yeah, for most part.
No, the last 5 playoff games they've allowed 30+ points.
But I'm saying, what was their score? Was it close?
They lost by double digits in every one.
In every one?
Yeah.
Wow. But I think just speaking for his 500 and above record as a coach
for 17 years.
Hasn't
won a playoff game since 2016.
Yeah, it's been rough. It's been a dry spot for him. Again, man, when I look at the Steelers, the first thing that comes to mind is their quarterback and their OC. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't ever you know what I mean? Like Ben Roethlisberger stayed a couple years too long. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, that's something. And he's a defensive-minded coach, a genius nonetheless. But he's a defensive-minded coach, and those guys need good OCs and decent, above decent quarterbacks to really go somewhere. So I think he can do whatever he wants to do, but personally, I wouldn't want to see him back as a Steelers coach. I think Pat Riley said it best when you've been in a place as a coach for 10 years plus. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just, the organization, the players, you just become so familiar with your voice. You know what I'm saying? Like it can be better for you to go elsewhere. And honestly, Mike Tomlin hits the market. I mean, there's a couple teams that comes to mind off top that could use his skills. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like I think, like he'll be out of a job or he should be fired. You know what I'm saying? Like it's truly his decision. I think the Steelers would like to have him back. But personally, like I said, there's a couple other teams that could use his services. For example, the Chargers. You know what I'm saying? Like, could you imagine Mike Tomlin on the Chargers? You know what I mean? And who knows with Nick Sirianni with the Eagles? You know what I'm saying? Like how that situation is going to go. People were saying he should be fired. You saw Belichick. You saw there's another Mike Vrabel just lost his job. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of teams.
Vrabel's available. Belichick is available. Jim Harbaugh is available. You got Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn out there. A lot of good coaches out there, honestly.
Yeah. What's another storyline?
Here we go. I was looking for this. Best Super Bowl potential matchups. I just wanted to say what the top 3 were. The Bucks were last on the list completely. Like every Bucks matchup was last.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to see them in the Super Bowl. To be honest.
Number 1, Lions versus Bills.
Yeah,
both teams have been around for 57-year Super Bowl era, and they've combined for 0-114 in their quest to win it. So neither team has won a Super Bowl. The Bills did have like the 3 years in a row that they went and lost all 3 years.
All off kicks, I believe, too, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow,
that missed field goals.
Yeah, that'd be insane.
Yeah.
So that was number 1, obviously because of the franchise aspect. Packers Chiefs was number 2, and Lions Chiefs was number 3.
Really, they didn't have the Ravens or the Niners in there?
The Ravens 49ers was 5th. That was the only one with that was the closest the Ravens got to the number 1 spot. 4th was 49ers Chiefs, which that don't even seem fun. It's just a rematch of the one Super Bowl, and both their teams are pretty boring.
Yeah.
Right now, I mean the Chiefs aren't even fun right now, but Ravens Lions did make the top 10. It was 10th. Ravens Lions Texans were 9th. I thought that would be funny, but yeah, number 1 being Lions Bills. That'd be the funnest Super Bowl matchup to see.
I agree. To be completely honest with you, if it came down to the Lions versus Bills in the Super Bowl, I think if I was not a Lions fan and I wouldn't have all the anxiety of watching that game, you know what I'm saying? And, if I was just a football fan, I would probably want to see a game like that. It would probably be a 28-24 kind of game.
Yeah. I think it'd be a fun game. I'd rather see the Ravens versus the Lions, mostly for a rematch. With that rematch being in the Super Bowl, I do think the Chiefs Lions, I would have to put number 1 only because that's the first game of the year also.
Yeah.
So that would just be very full circle, that's, in the season how you started it, beating the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Which would just be amazing, But
yeah.
I mean, the only teams that I think could beat us are the 49ers and the Ravens. And I think we have a pretty good remedy for the 49ers. Now that Ravens defense is a little more tricky, but that 49ers defense, I think when we are cooking the way that we do best, I don't really think there's a team that can stop it. And that is the run game is cooking, and now Jared Goff can go straight play action.
Yeah.
Because see, that's where you get those JMO deep balls. That's where you get a lot of those big plays, and it's because the defense has to, if they don't crash in on the fake, they, what I'm saying? Now is, so I don't know if we have any of this in our offense where we're doing the not run play option, but
that's
Goff,
not fooling nobody.
Goff has the choice. I don't know if we have any of this, but where Goff could have possibly the choice of to let the run be or to pass it. I know a lot of teams do that, like run pass options.
Yeah.
Run with the running back or
I know what
pass
you mean.
it, but
yeah.
So I think I would probably go Lions Chiefs number 1, Lions Bills number 2, and Lions Ravens number 3.
Yeah.
And if I had to take the Lions out of it, I think Packers Ravens would be crazy.
I agree with you.
Just because Jordan Love's so young and all that.
Is this your Aaron Rodgers moment?
Yeah.
It's the storyline.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, is that would be insane. You know what I'm saying? And then Lamar just being Lamar, unanimous MVP in the Super Bowl. I would take the Ravens in that. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I would probably bet the Ravens on any game, even versus the Lions, but I'll watch that game hoping I lose money.
Yeah.
I told you before the season started, man, I just didn't see no team, like just with the moves that were made around the league, I didn't see anyone better than the Ravens. It was just my opinion.
Oh man, they're in a championship.
About to see Odell. Let's not forget he turns up for the playoffs.
They're in a championship or bust situation right now, which is how they're treating this season, and I respect it wholeheartedly. I mean, truthfully, if it wasn't for the Lions being in the playoffs, Yeah, I would be rooting for the Ravens to see Lamar get his first win. Plus, two, everything around him in the playoffs is he just a regular season QB? Can this style of QB win a Super Bowl? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's still a question.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's still a question, man. And he's a black quarterback. You know what I mean? Like it's just like I have a lot of I really support him in that journey, you know, to get his first championship. But the Lions are there, so it's like, well, you know, maybe probably not this year we go, you know what I mean? But like,
hey, yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, Lamar got to get past the Texans. I'm not gonna discredit them. Like them boys, if you think you're just gonna look past them,
they're not.
You'll lose that game.
Yeah,
you know. But I know Lamar's not.
What did Kyle Shanahan say after the Packers' second quarter? I went straight to film study.
Yeah, man, he was already on it.
Like I don't think that John, man, that's hilarious.
Yeah,
like, can you imagine watching that game as a coach? Like, you know, okay, we'll probably put the Cowboys, might be the Packers. Like by that second quarter, like those Packers look real damn good, huh? All right, well, time to turn this off, and you know what I'm saying?
Man, I mean, check the history though, man. The Packers have a history of just beating them. And that's partly why I gave them the credit I gave them. But, you know, like I said, I think the Packers will continue on this amazing run that they're on. And I think they'll have a crash course in Ford Field.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you know, if it works out where everything ends up going through Detroit until we go to Las Vegas.
That's a good feeling as a fan.
Man, come on.
You know?
I mean, at this point, bro, like, I'm not saying I'm cool with any losses, but –
oh, I'm completely like free.
Man,
I'm watching this game as much as you know the stakes.
Well, no, I'm not cool with this one either, though.
I am. Look,
all
season. What did I say?
No, we can't lose this game. No, all season. I know. Win the playoff game.
Yeah,
okay, but we didn't. But if I would have told you the second one would be the Bucks, you would be like win 2 playoff games at least. It's like nah, we can't beat Stafford just to lose to Baker Mayfield. Bro, if we lose to Baker Mayfield, you know I want his quarterback. Like, we're not even going to.
Man,
yeah, you want to know something funny? I'm just saying, your boy MCDC. Head coach, Dad Campbell. You know what he said about Baker?
What did he say?
He said he always liked him from afar. He said,
here you go. Here you go.
I'm just telling you your coach's words.
Man.
He said he saw Baker a couple years back.
Yeah.
Guys were coming out of college, and you know he was like it was real cold outside. You know he wasn't a head coach at this time, obviously.
Yeah.
He said Baker came in. He wasn't throwing for them. He was just like the receivers had. You know, tryouts or whatever, and Baker threw for all of his receivers that were going into the draft.
Yeah,
and he was like, you know, it was cold out. He said Baker like came in like flops. You know what I'm saying? Like threw for all his guys. Also had to throw for like you know his own tryout and stuff. And you know he was just saying that you know most guys be like, I got to save my arm for like my, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And all that, but you know he's like just talking about how much of a you know just G he is, you know. And like I said, you know that's the only thing I respect about Baker, man.
Yeah,
it's just the grit,
bro. He's got a winner's mentality,
you know? I mean, if I could get Jared Goff with like just a razzle dazzle of that Baker grit, I'd love it. I'd love it, you know. Or if I could get Baker with like the
Goff
IQ,
poisonous.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like Goff really, like even when he throw the interceptions, he didn't expect to.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like when he throw him, he really be hurt. Like man, in his eyes, it was probably like a dot straight
right on target. Yeah.
Like you know,
well, you know he threw 30 touchdowns, man, and 12 picks. You know, so
is that what he was for the final?
Yeah, I think he did 12 picks.
Or was it 29-12, something like that.
You know, but I do
know 11 of them came under pressure though.
Yeah,
and that's where. I mean, that's our weakness,
bro. And
that's our weakness,
and that's what I said, man.
Thankfully, we have a crazy O-line. You know, I mean, that Penei Sewell draft pick just looks better and better,
man. Every game.
I will say though, do you want to check the cameras before we get into the book though?
Yeah, sure, for sure. I was gonna say, yeah, man. But the way we did Aaron Donald. Man, like You already know as a coach, man. You know your weak. You should know your weakness better than anybody else. So you got to be sitting there thinking, like, talking to the O line, talking to Goff, man, like, just protect the quarterback. Give him as much time as you possibly can. You know what I'm saying? The way we did Aaron Donald in that game, man, he had one touch on Goff, and it damn near was a fumble. It was scary. You know what I'm saying? But the way we did him in that game, man, and to see what the comp is coming up. I mean, do you think any defensive lineman is going to be more impactful than Aaron Donald that we have to face? I don't. So it's like in this mode now. Here's what you're going to see though. You're going to see 6-man blitzes. You know what I'm saying? You might even see 7-man blitzes. You're gonna see some blitz. This coach, Todd Bowles. You know what I'm saying? They love to blitz over in Tampa Bay. That's the only thing I think about when I think about this game.
That's what got you beat 26 last time. So you better game plan better than that.
Especially if our running game gets going, man, it'll be a clinic out there.
Yeah.